My new employee is the parent of my child's bully. I received a promotion last month after several stressful years, and the increased income will be life-changing for my family. Now, I'm working out of an office much closer to home, doing work I genuinely care about, and I'll have more time to spend with my family. The company filled an open role at my new location just before I was promoted. I wasn't involved in the hiring process for this person and only later discovered they were the parent of my child's bully. This situation goes beyond a few meetings with the principal. We almost lost our child because of Timmy. We moved our child and their siblings to a different school, sold our home, and relocated to the other side of the county. At one point, we had to involve the police, which led to a restraining order against Timmy, who is now finally facing other legal consequences for his behavior. Both children are still quite young, and I am still shocked by the cruel and awful things I witnessed my child endure at the hands of a peer, feeling helpless and out of control as we begged the school and his parents to intervene. Our family life is finally beginning to settle down, and this new work opportunity felt like a fresh start for us after the intense pain and fear we've experienced. My child is finally starting to heal and regain their joy and sense of normalcy. We are all undergoing therapy, both as a family and individually, to help us recover from everything that has happened. The company hired Timmy's mother, Jane, to fill this role, and I will be her manager. On my first day meeting the team, she went pale when she saw me, and I'm sure I probably did the same. I know everyone else on this team and have great rapport with them. I don't communicate with Jane unless I have to and it's in writing. What should I do? I'm not quitting and I'm not taking a demotion. Should I meet with Jane and HR to discuss this and set expectations? That feels like I'm betraying my child and my family, but professionally I know it's an option. Do I ignore it and hope she's so uncomfortable she quits? Should I ask HR about offering her a transfer? At a certain point in the last year, she behaved just about as badly as her child did, and the judge considered including her in the restraining order, but was instead issued a warning on the record. I checked and the two of us working together isn't a violation of the restraining order, but it does open up the possibility. I'm just so stunned I don't know what to do. We don't speak or interact unless we have to, and some team members and a few of my colleagues in management have noticed but not said much about it. I'm at such a loss, I have no idea how to handle this. Update. I appreciate that AAM allowed me the space to get my thoughts in order before I said or did anything stupid. I should have gone to HR my first day as Jane's manager, but I was not thinking straight. Things had been going so well at home that I didn't want to jeopardize it by bringing Jane back into our lives. Within a few days of my question posting, my junior team lead Sam asked me directly about my weird behavior around Jane, which had been going on for about 2 weeks or so. In the org chart, I'm Sam's superior but not by much. Sam and I have worked together in the past but not closely enough that he knew about my connection to Jane. Her child bullied and assaulted my child and the courts were involved, among other things. I told Sam about my history with Jane, providing limited details with minimal legal documentation and proof which my lawyer advised me on, and he was shocked but incredibly supportive. He let me know that Jane had been very vocal with several other staff including him since my first day, warning staff to stay away from me, that I was toxic, dangerous, that I had slept with her husband and broken up her marriage. All I could do was laugh at that. It hadn't occurred to me that keeping my distance would give Jane a chance to try to damage my reputation, but she didn't get very far. I've worked with everyone else on this team on and off for most of my career, so they were all very skeptical. Sam and I met with HR and walked through my history with Jane to create a plan for Sam to manage her going forward. HR was wonderfully supportive and thanked me for communicating with her in writing, as it was probably the safest thing I could have done under the circumstances. Then we learned a few things we didn't know. HR had been planning to reach out to me because when my predecessor hired Jane, he had done so without putting in the paperwork for a background check. This is one of the many reasons I replaced this manager. Our company requires us to use a fingerprinting service run out of the sheriff's office for a full background check before starting employment. My predecessor let her start without one and just marked passed in her employee profile without adding the appropriate documentation. When pressed, he said he lost it. HR was able to confirm Jane had never gone. Before I started as her boss, Jane had been given a 30-day grace period from HR to get fingerprinted, missed multiple appointments, and had been pushing back on it with my predecessor's support. He'd left no documentation for me or record of this issue, which didn't surprise us, and now there was only a week left in the grace period. HR needed to discuss terminating Jane if she didn't get fingerprinted for her background check within the next 10 days. All of this is based on state regulations and company policy and thankfully had nothing to do with me. There was no other job or department she could be moved to that didn't require a background check. Sam took over from there, and all I know is they met with Jane, explained that Sam would be her manager going forward, and made an appointment for her to get fingerprinted that day, and she enthusiastically agreed to go. And didn't. And never returned any calls or contact attempts from HR or Sam, which was honestly the best way this could have washed out. My family is doing better than ever, work is great, and my amazing kiddo is healing and finding joy again. They even helped their new school start an anti-bullying and mental health program to help younger students if they feel unsafe. We're going to be traveling to see relatives and have some fun this summer, so we're very excited. I feel like a weight's been lifted off my chest. A huge thank you to the AAM community for just letting me get all my thoughts out.